Oh my God. Yo, I honestly...
Get the f*** out of here.
Hi, I'm Rae Arcade. Welcome to my channel. This is my husband.
Hello.
Today, he is a brave knight who's going to be ascending my ivory tower so we can look down upon the peasants and cast judgment. It makes it sound like I have a penis. On this segment of Stories from Reddit. So, as usual, we're going into this blind. We haven't read any of these. We're doing 3 stories from the subreddit Am I the Asshole? And we're doing 2 from r/advice. So let's get into our first story. Am I the asshole for filing a police report on a good friend who was caught on video stealing my boyfriend's camera at dinner? She has refused to help me either replace it in full or contribute to the cost of replacing it. More context. We were out to dinner one night at an expensive hotel. My boyfriend let me borrow his Canon G7X 1800 camera to take pictures with my friends. At the conclusion of the dinner, I went up to the room and realized the camera was gone. I went back right down to the table and no one had seen it. I immediately got with hotel security and she is on video, clear as day, swiping the camera when my back was turned and shoving it in her purse. I covered for her initially with my friend and contacted her to find a resolution. She had taken the camera with her and my friends to a club after dinner, which I did not attend, and lost it there. For background, this is my good college friend who I know well. That's the camera thief. She's been taken on free trips to Coachella and St. Bart's on my dime. Not kidding. That's crazy. As well as many other things. We have done a lot together and are good friends, so I expected her to feel sorry. Initially, she lied, saying she did not have it. When I told her we had video, she confessed and then said yes, she took it, but lost it at the next bar she went to with my other friends. It is now gone. I asked her to help me replace it by going in on me with the cost. She refused all measures. Asked her to help me replace it She refused all measures or resolutions, and now I feel I have nothing left to do but file a police report and let them handle it. It's impacting my relationship, and I'm furious my friend is not helping at all. Why should I be on the hook for something she stole? I have given her 3 weeks to help me resolve this, but she insists she is going to do nothing. I'm being pressed by my boyfriend to either replace the camera or help him file a report with her info and the footage. I even asked her to just throw in half or less than half the cost to help, but she still refuses. I do not want to get her in trouble, but I am at the point where I feel she really does not care. Is this person the asshole?
Fuck no. Am I the asshole for wanting my stolen property returned?
It sounds like this friend's a piece of shit. Like, girl, why have you been hanging on with her this whole time? Says she's paid for her to go to Coachella and St. Bart's. Honestly, girl, I feel like you need to set some firmer boundaries, really. If you're an asshole about anything, it's letting this friend take advantage of you, letting her walk all over you.
No, I'm still not the asshole.
No, I mean, I don't think the OP's an asshole, but I'm just saying, stand up for yourself. Don't pay this bitch.
How is this even a question?
There are some updates, but I guess maybe she feels bad about filing a police report because if she's on camera clear as day, then her friend is definitely going to get arrested or fined.
I give a fuck.
No, I know. I'm just saying, obviously that's her conundrum here.
To everyone out there who would side with or defend the friend that stole the camera, you're a piece of shit.
No, I'm not standing up.
No. I'm gonna stand on this. I don't care. I'll take this opportunity. Because there are people out there who feel entitled to other people's time, property.
Well, just taking a camera without asking is crazy.
Fuck.
Yeah. Well, let's first establish not the asshole. I feel like this person probably feels really bad. That's why she's going to Am I the Asshole to get people to be like, hey, you're being a totally reasonable human being. Because it appears that this original poster might have some guilt issues. But you know what? The people that you feel the guiltiest about betraying are usually the people who take the most advantage of you.
Deep. That's deep.
Thank you. There are some updates. Update, I sent her a text this AM telling her if I do not receive the full cost of the camera, shipping confirmation of a new camera from an approved vendor, blah, 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 we will be filing a police report Saturday morning. Update 2. She told me she was sick of me and that I will be receiving a tracking number on Friday and not to blame her if the package is never received. I told her if she was my real friend, she would be sorry, and in no way will I allow this to be flipped on me. Should I ask if the camera's new or the one that disappeared? Oh my God, that'd be crazy. Okay, update 3. She sent me a tracking number via FedEx. It says it's awaiting package. I asked her repeatedly if she's sending me the original camera, assuming it magically turned up, or a new one. She refused to answer and only tells me to stop bothering her. Update 4. I am more and more convinced my friend, the camera thief, took the camera hoping that I would just replace it for my boyfriend, giving her a free camera. Cut her loose. Never forgive her.
The camera thief is telling everyone that she got accused wrongly.
Yeah.
And she got cut off. Mm-hmm. And that she's the victim.
She probably has to erase like 5,000 photos of her just like doing selfies and stuff first. Okay, moving on. Am I the asshole for walking out after my relatives kept pressuring me to misuse my work access for family favors? So last night we had a family dinner. My uncle asked me to pull some data for his marketing team since I'm working for an e-commerce company. Also, my aunt persists me to submit a referral for her boyfriend's son. I said the role needs relevant experience, and I will not lie. I told relatives I would not use my job access for personal favors. I said no data, no internal documents, no priority referrals. Somehow, they also started listing items to buy with my employee discount. I explained policy, conflict rules, and audit trails. Moreover, I showed the code of conduct section on my phone. They told me that nobody gets caught and I should help them. That dinner was too over for me, so I left the restaurant. They seem to not get my point, but I will still follow the rules, and I will not attend events where pressure is applied because my job is not a family vending machine. I don't like people to asking me to break policy since I want to respect my limits and not lose the invitation. I mean, obviously this person isn't an asshole.
No, the family's an asshole.
Yeah, if your family's asking you to compromise your job in this economy, asking you to sacrifice getting fired from your job in this economy. They work for an e-commerce company. They know in this economy you cannot lose your job.
I read somewhere once that a real supportive friend or family member would not ask you for a discount on services you provide, but would rather pay you the full price to show you that they support you.
Or more.
Yeah.
I work with dogs. I groom dogs, and usually family friends will give me big, meaty tip.
Yeah. Real family wouldn't ask you to jeopardize your job.
Honestly, the only time I'd ever ask for somebody to jeopardize their job is if I got into really deep trouble because I have a couple relatives in the FBI. Hey, I'm calling in a favor. I might have made some joking threats online, but they were jokes. Can you please help me?
It's funny, though, because those family members wouldn't actually be able to help you. They're in the FBI, but they wouldn't.
No, I can't give away they're classified.
No, I know.
I'd be like, call up your friends. I made online jokes. They were jokes. I was just kidding.
They're great guys, though.
They're great guys. So, yeah, okay, you ready? Not the asshole. Next one. Am I the asshole for taking off my shorts to dry them under a hand dryer? Hello. I, 27 male, was in a train station waiting to take an Amtrak train, drinking some water. I somehow managed to spill the water all over my shirt and shorts. Not wanting to get on the train, looking like I pissed myself, I went into the bathroom to deal with it. I stretched my shirt out to get it under the hand dryer and did a good job of drying that, but the dryer was too high off the ground to help out my shorts. So I looked around to make sure no kids were there. It was somewhat crowded, but only adults, and I slipped my shorts to dry them more effectively under the dryer. Slipped off my shorts. I had under on, so it's not like it was anything indecent. When I did when I did so, I heard one guy around my age say, "All right then," and a couple looks and didn't think anything of it. But one guy about 10 or 15 years older than me came up to me and said to cover up, and this is no place for that. At this point, my shorts were 95% clean, but I don't like being told what to do. So I dried them for about another 15 seconds before putting them on. The guy muttered, "Asshole," and walked away. Was I in the wrong for doing this? It's a bathroom, and it's not like I was nude or anything. Technically, someone outside the bathroom could have seen the hand dryers if they really tried. But in my opinion, if you're peeking into a bathroom, that makes you a weirdo. So what's the verdict? I mean, I'm under the listen, I'm not a frequenter of men's bathrooms, but I'm under the impression you guys are just fucking whipping your dicks out next to each other anyway. Like there's like to pee in the urinals. There's just penises all over.
You think you think every public male restroom is just full of meat gazers?
No, I'm not saying you guys are looking at each other's penises. I'm just saying, like, is it really that weird for a guy to be standing in his underwear? I mean, there's penises abound.
True. There are penises abound. But no. Unless we're at a beach where that restroom is also like there's a public shower or something in there, people are changing out of, swimming trunks. No, I've never once seen a man standing in a public restroom with his pants off, standing in front of a blow dryer.
Okay, but does that make him an asshole?
No, it doesn't.
No, okay.
No. Common sense. 2 fucking seconds of observation. Oh, shit. He's drying his shorts under a hand dryer. He's drying his pants under a hand dryer.
I guess, like, coming from a woman's perspective, usually bathrooms, especially when you're out at, like, a bar or a nightclub or something, it's like a sisterhood in there, you know? So if somebody spilled something on them and they were very clearly struggling, I feel like the girls would be like, how can we help you?
Men's rooms are the opposite.
Yeah, I know.
Men's rooms are the opposite. Men's rooms, you go in there and you like almost lose your ability to talk.
Honestly, I feel like this is what happens when toxic masculinity is allowed to penetrate into society. You just standing there in your underwear with wet pants and men are giving you dirty looks. Now imagine if you guys could come together in a fraternal sort of way.
No, because then while he's standing there in front of the hand dryer, he'd get nut tapped, and then someone would splash water on his pants. That's what if they were really comfortable with each other, his situation would go from bad to worse.
When's the last time you told a man you loved him?
I told my brother I love him every time I see him.
It doesn't count. Anyway, hug your bros and help them dry their shorts.
Give me an example of this situation, except that example. That example doesn't count.
I don't know. But, so, not the asshole. Okay. So the next 2 are going to be from the subreddit r/advice. How to get my boyfriend to shower more regularly. Today I agreed to put lotion on him because he's sunburnt from playing sports for 2 days straight. He loves when I do that for him. But then he started to complain about how he's all sweaty and gross and covered in sunscreen, so I asked him to shower before coming over. He's refusing, but still expecting me to let him come lay in my bed and get the princess treatment. He also rarely showers before sexual activity with me, unless I basically tell him we're not doing anything unless he showers. And he showers once a week. Oh no. I feel like he's really inconsiderate. He will argue with me about showering sometimes, but I don't want to be rude to him or make him feel bad about it. How do I navigate this? I have to say, if you have to beg your boyfriend to shower, and listen, when you have a vagina, it's a delicate biome down there, you know, and even just having sex regularly with a clean man, it can fuck up your shit, let alone introducing like germs and bacteria, sweat. If he is not considerate enough to shower before you have sex, and you have to tell him you're not going to do it until he takes a shower, I got to say, I think that might speak volumes about the type of person he is as a whole. I don't think it's a showering problem. I think it's a consideration problem.
I think there's, bigger problems at the root of this. I think she needs to find a good therapist and work on her sense of self-worth and value.
And probably a good gynecologist, because you might have BV if you keep letting him put it in you without showering. No, there's an update.
Is the OP a woman?
It doesn't say. I'm assuming it's a woman. It could be a man, but even then, if you're going
same thing.
You can get yeast infections in your butthole.
Whichever one, man or woman.
Yeah. Or also, if it's a man, if he's a top, you also don't want to put your penis in a sweaty butthole. Usually, right?
Either way, you don't value yourself enough if you feel like you have to beg your boyfriend to shower before sex and just shower more regularly. I
gotta say, I don't really have any advice how to get him to shower more regularly. I think the ultimate thing you should do here is probably find somebody who's mature enough to take a shower and respect you.
The only advice is say no. Enforcing a boundary.
God, disgusting. Take a shower. Anybody out there, keep yourself clean. Moving on. All right. Sister and her husband have tried to have an affair with my wife. I, 27 male, and my wife, 26 female, are swingers. Ooh. Recently, my sister, 26, and her husband, 25, were curious about joining in on the lifestyle, and they found our dating profile. They don't have faces, but they have recognized tattoos. To make a long story short, my sister and her husband just recently moved to our town where me and my parents live. We all have separate houses. I work for an airline, and a day before I got home, my sister had called my wife and asked if I was home. When she was told I was out on a trip, she asked my wife if she wanted to grab lunch with her and her husband. My wife is pretty innocent, and her first inclination is that my sister may be pregnant again. This would be their second child, and they are not in the financial situation to support the family they have, much less another one. At lunch, they had admitted to my wife that they had found our profile and asked for advice as they started to explore the lifestyle. It quickly developed into, well, we would definitely feel more comfortable if it was somebody we knew, and we both find you super sexy and have been staring at your pictures. Brother-in-law even admitted to getting off to them several times. At this point, my wife freaked out and didn't know what to say. She awkwardly laughed, and they took that as she was interested. As my wife was waiting for the waiter to bring her card back so she could leave, they started to say how fun it would be to have sex behind my back, and proceeded to make insults about me, both about the situation and my body. What you're imagining is probably right. Oh, guy. After awkwardly rushing out, my wife immediately called me and filled me in on what happened. When I came home, my wife had a panic attack as she told me everything again. I texted my sister and let her and her husband know that they crossed the line and neither of them should contact my wife again, and my wife blocked them on everything. I called both of my parents and let them know the situation, including that we are swingers. I'm not sure where to go from here and really just needed to get this off my chest. Any advice is welcome, and I will update you with any changes. There is an edit. Edit for clarity. The reason we decided to tell my parents is we spend most holidays with them and often have get-togethers for lunch or game night. And now that this has happened, we won't be going to anything if my sister and husband are there. Oh my God. Yo, I honestly, if you want to be a swinger, go for it. But you have to acknowledge that if you open up that lifestyle, you kind of operate in secrecy, but you have to understand that there might be situations like this that happen. If you're on what is FetLife and you're looking for other couples to swing with, it's in your area. You might find your, first grade teacher on there, you might find your next door neighbor on there. I don't know, man. I guess in theory, maybe swinging might appeal to some people, but I think it gets messy really quickly.
I know this isn't an am I the asshole. This is just someone venting, fucking searching for a reaction, but that sister and fucking brother-in-law, get the fuck out of here.
Yeah, by no means am I blaming, if you're an adult and you have your sexual consenting proclivities, that's fine. I don't really care as long as everybody's consenting, of age, whatever, do whatever you want. I think if I was doing that and I saw a relative of mine or like an in-law of mine on there, I would be like, whoop, and move on with my day. I would never bring it up.
Block that profile, push it the furthest out of my memory.
I think that there is like something psychotic about doing that. And then also being like, yeah, I've been jerking it to your pictures. Also, they're one step away from wanting to do an incest.
Yeah. Yeah, that's... Especially if we don't know. We don't know if it was the sister or if it was the brother-in-law who probably instigated this contact with OP's wife. Right? Which one of them was like, oh, we like her. They're into this too. Let's try to get her. Because, like, there's one thing, if it's the brother-in-law husband who's like, oh, she's hot, and the sister of OP just kind of goes along with it, whatever. If it was the sister...
Something wrong with her. Well, there's something really wrong with her. It doesn't matter if she's the one who initiated the contact or not. She appears to want to cuckold her brother. There's some deep family trauma going on there or something. She's calling him, like, I would assume fat and ugly. And, like, oh, my God, girl, go to therapy. Like, I think there's no advice here. I think this is a relationship ruiner. You don't move past this. The only advice I would give is maybe find some friends that become like family, you know?
Move.
Yeah, and if you're new to this lifestyle, wouldn't you try to seek out somebody who is like an older couple who seems like more veteran in it?
Are you asking about like the sister and the brother-in-law?
Yeah, like it seems ass backwards to be like, well, we're not comfortable with it, so we know you. It's so complicated. That's your family.
Everything about this is so wrong.
Yeah.
No, not everything about this. Fucking live your life. You want to swing, that's fine, great. But if you want to swing and you see a family member, don't proposition their partner.
Well, see, that's the thing. Like, I would say that there's swinging, and then I would say that there's bad actors who probably get into some of these communities that have really weird issues going on. Like, this isn't about swinging for them. There's something deeply psychologically wrong with the sister and brother-in-law. So I don't know, guys. You don't need another couple to have sex with. You need a therapist.
I guess, I mean, you could maybe argue that the brother-in-law is, you know, it's not as incestuous because that's his brother-in-law's wife. They're completely unrelated people. But that's even like the most gracious.
I'm trying to think about this.
Don't try to think about it. Don't try to think about it.
No, not like that. Just trying to think of how uncomfortable it would be.
It would be if so basically it's like fuck. The only brother sister combo I can think of. This will get really weird, but this is reality. It would be as if Tyrion and who's the only person he married?
Sansa.
If Tyrion and Sansa get married and they approach Cersei and Bobby B, if Bobby B is still alive, and they're like,
but Cersei's literally fucking her brother. So this is it. Let's move on. This story has made my skin crawl.
Yeah, that's...
Honestly, I think some people let their libido guide their mind. And I think if your penis or your ovaries are doing the thinking for your brain, that you should probably seek some sort of self-control, because this is a very clear black and white, that's fucked up type of issue.
It's just so simple. As soon as you see the profile, gasp. You know, take it in. Oh my God. Then hit block and find someone else.
You know what this reminds me of? In Parks and Recreation, when Tom goes to like Leslie Knope's party at the gay nightclub, and he's like, I've seen a lot of dudes from City Hall here. And he's like, but they've also seen me. But anyway, okay, so that one was weird. We're ending it on a weird note.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, tune in next time and maybe we'll have some more super weird and uncomfortable stories from Reddit.
You know, just to tie this back up, sitting atop this ivory tower, I feel completely confident judging that last fucking story.
Oh, yes, for sure.
Yeah, I am better than you.
Well, thank you, noble knight. I will be your fair lady. And we will have many more adventures to come until next time.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.